G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jenny. Today I want to work on a small project, a minor project, something I might have missed along the way, and that is tungsten plate. We have plenty of tungsten plate. What we don't have is we don't have legendary tungsten plate. Up here we have a simple recycler system that is making, legendary foundries from, not making legendary foundries, but making the lower quality ones. And then if I happen to get a legendary foundry, we keep the legendary foundry. If I happen to get legendary components, being, mainly the tungsten carbide, well, we save those. Also saving the green circuits, of course. Also, we're saving the refined concrete, and we're saving the steel until the steel overflows, at which point we get rid of the steel. Also have the exact same system up here, making electric miners. Big mining drills. This is a little bit different as it has two of these guys running, and the main reason is these craft 0.4 per second, and the recycler can crunch 0.53 per second, and it's not running nearly as well. Also, we really like big mining drills that are legendary, so we're using them. Foundries, not so much. 1,000 is probably an awful lot. I could probably start getting rid of these, but we're not going to worry about that right now. What we are going to worry about is tungsten plate. I need to make that in legendary. But before I take you through the best way to make a legendary tungsten plate, I need to ask you that very important question. Of course, the important question being, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I'd like to borrow a like on the video. Not happy with the video, didn't enjoy the video. Well, no legendary tungsten plate for you. So, tungsten plate comes from tungsten ore. The best way to get tungsten ore, mine it. The best way to get legendary tungsten ore, don't. You could mass recycle it, but it means for every 2,000, 300 odd tungsten ore that you've gone and mass recycled, you'll get one legendary, and you're going to need 4 to make one piece of plate. Don't do it. Your other option is, you could recycle tungsten plate by turning into something using some quality modules, and then once you've turned it into something with some quality modules, recycle that item. Same as we're doing up here with, tungsten carbide in both these builds. So what can we make with tungsten plate? I can make belts. I could use 5 tungsten plate. That would work. I just need to have a blue belt. Blue belt's not too hard to make, especially here on Vulcanus. I can make undergrounds. Underground's going to give me, we're going to use 40 plate. We could definitely do that one. Splitters. Splitters need blue circuits. That makes things a little bit more complicated. I could make artillery. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd really like to have legendary artillery for, that extra range. That's a significant bump in the range. It's about 50%, 50% extra. Also, the manual range goes out the wazoo. But I would need to have gears being fed in, blue circuits fed in, engines sent in, along with refined concrete. That's a lot of items to manage. Pass. This is too much. Foundation. It requires that we constantly lose for ketone in cold. Pass. We could do the fusion generators if I was happy to burn through quantum processors and superconductors. I'm not quite happy to burn through quantum processors yet, maybe in the future, but not right at the moment, so that sort of rules those two out. If I did the science pack itself, the science pack recycles into the science pack. So let's go with no on that one as well. Railgun also needs that lovely fluid. Pass. Artillery shells, we could do artillery shells, but they'll only need 4 tungsten plate. Artillery shells would probably be better if I wanted to get legendary explosives. I don't know why I'd want legendary explosives. Probably make legendary artillery shells, but then again, legendary artillery shells just do more damage. I'm happy to just fire 2 shots. We could possibly do the portable fusion reactor, but then I need fission. No, this is the fusion reactor, but then I need to also mass make portable fission reactors. I'd also need fusion power cells, which is again a hard pass. That we've already spoken about the artillery, and of course, the railgun needs the lovely fluid. You might ask, why do I want legendary tungsten plate? Well, for legendary railguns, I'd like to just have the components, just craft them as I require. But this means we need to plan a little bit early. Also means I would probably like to just auto-craft exactly as many fusion reactors as I need for my armor. The spiders don't need them. They can have crappy ones. I just like legendary for myself. So our best option is going to be our underground belts. Underground belts, they consume a lot of it, which means we're going to get an awful lot back. It does mean I need to make blue belts. Blue belts are not going to be that hard to make. So this is going to be our starting point. But first thing I want to do is I want to copy the above build, because the above build is a very, very good example of how to do this. And can I just take the whole thing and paste it? Let's go with here and hope that I have enough room. That sounds like a good idea. Okay. So, actually, no, can I? Paste, can I put you a little bit further to the right? Because I need to get that loop pipe all the way through. Sure, you can go there. All right, can I have the loop pipe come to here? Can I get this to go through to there? And that works for me. Okay, close enough. I also need to have this little bit. This is going to take the legendary items out the end. In our case, we're going to be having, if I'm making undergrounds, I'm going to have 2 items. I'm going to have, well, legendary tungsten plate and a legendary, well, I'm going to have 3 possible outcomes. One is going to be legendary tungsten plate. That's the item I want. Also, possibly legendary blue undergrounds. I don't really want those. And also possibly legendary green undergrounds. I sort of want those, but I just want the tungsten from them. So I need to make sure that when we're dealing with our legendary items that come at the end, I need to make sure I account for those 3 possible outcomes. All right, next thing I want to do is I want to make this a little bit longer and this a little bit longer and scrap everything. Actually, can I just scrap that part? That part. Okay. Can I bring this belt over here? Now, there's only 2 items coming in here. One of them is going to be undergrounds. So can I go with undergrounds in any quality? Yep, because we're already filtering out right here common items. So this should be as easy as copy this and delete that and paste and just run that belt to there. And can I copy that again, but without that guy, and then delete this and paste and delete this and high autosave and paste. Okay, so if they're underground belts, they're going to pop into the top belt. If they're not underground belts, i.e. they're going to be tungsten plate, they're going to pop into the bottom belt. I need you to be changed to uncommon, that item, paste, change to rare, that item, and change to epic, that item. Okay, so step number 1. Step number 2 is, can I get this please? Thank you, and put you here. All right, step number 3 is I need to make blue undergrounds. Yeah, we're gonna need a whole lot of those, and that's also gonna need lube. Now, you need to have 8 per second to make you run at full speed. In saying that, can I have some, cool. Can I put that in there as a test? You can only process 8 per second. So even though you're making 12, you can only process 8. Something I need to keep in mind. If I need to keep that in mind, can I just do this and also do, with the quality modules, please. That's going to be important. And if it's not legendary, it can also go into this crusher. Yeah. If it is legendary, it can pop out there. And these are not stack inserters. They're actually, I could do a, no, it's not worth trying to do a stack inserter. Okay, so I can now process the full 12 that we're going to be making. So this means I need the blue guy to be able to make at least 8 per second. As it is, he's going to make 12, but he also needs to have red belt. So can I have red undergrounds? Cool. And I need to make 8 per second. You're making 12. We're good. But then I need to have yellow undergrounds. So can I have yellow version? And I need to have 8 per second. I'm making 24. That's fine. But now I need to have yellow belt. So there's a couple of steps to this process, but they're all fairly well linked together. And then I need to look at the next item being gears. I'm going to need a lot of gears, like an awful lot of gears. So can I, nope. Can I rotate you? Yep. And then can I do this? Can I move you up a tile and pop that there and pop that there? Oh, that gives me a little bit more room down here. Okay, can I have one of you guys? And you're going to be making gears out the wazoo. Gears, cool. And you're not going to have quality gears. You're going to have productivity gears. And you're going to make 9 per second. That's a problem. Can I grab a beacon? And this needs to stay away from the quality items. So I can put this here and then fill you full of speed modules. Okay, we're now making 166. You need 320. Can you slide down a little bit? You can. Cool. And then I'll give you a second one. And bots, please. It's right there. Cool. You're making 230. We need 320. Well, actually, you also need gears. So can I do another gear machine here? You need not gears, you need plates. So can I put a machine here? And can I have you do plate? Cool. If you're doing plate, which we can shove into here and into here, you also need gears. I could probably steal gears from this guy. And we just need to have potentially a lot of beacons. There, oop. Yeah, there and there. You need 80 plate. Oh, you're gonna make far too much for 80 plate, but that's fine. We're gonna throw some of these in the process. Can I put this here? All right, 144 plate. You need 80. You need 16. That covers me there. You're gonna make 300 gears. You only need 160. You're gonna make 280 gears. You need 320. Can I go here and here? And 219. Come on, 359 per second. That seems about right. Okay, can I get some inserters? So we want to have, well, an inserter passing all the way through this system. I don't need this guy. I need iron in here, plus I need iron in here, plus I need to have a whole lot of gears in here, a whole lot of gears in here, and I also need to have gears come up to this guy. Okay, that's a pretty good start. All right, can I get pipes? I'm going to bring pipe along through here. And Roboport, can you move to here? All right. Can I have another guy? Because I'm going to need molten iron. And from the looks of it, I'm going to need a lot of molten iron. So, ask max rate calculator. Max rate calculator says I need 3,500 molten iron. And you're making 150. Can I go with more? Yeah, come on, bots. You can put the beacons in. 4.3k, which is more than enough, just to confirm. Yeah, we're over by about 900. Perfect. Can I rotate you around? Can I put you in there? Can I get a request chest? And you there, copy and paste that. Can I have 500 calcite? I like 500. And can I also get a pipe in here? And also a magic assembler that's going to be making all the landfill I ever need. Where are we? There. And pipes. Can I have, well, got my landfill output to, yeah, that seems like a good spot for it. Okay, I picked the one spot that doesn't have power. Cool, of course it did. Can I have you go up, thank you. And then I need an offshore pump, that one. And I'm going to make you legendary because you need 3,500 molten lava. So can I put you there? Can I put your friend here? And can we get a pipe there to there? And let's just go underground this way to that way to close enough. There to there to there and there and there. Cool. That should bring in molten lava. You probably need to be faster. Yep. And you... Nope, we're good. We're good. Everything ran. Okay. We have belts. Oh, they have quality modules. No. 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 And no. Cool. Can I pull that up? Excellent. All right. So, we now have blue undergrounds. Excellent. Can I have you input blue undergrounds into here up to... let's say... if it's less than 300. 300 seems like a randomish good number. Okay, can I also have you linked to this box? You are going to only input, can I copy that to there? If blue undergrounds are less than, well, if they equal 0. Okay, I only want to put new, 0. Equals, thank you. If it equals 0. I don't want to add new items to the system, not if I already have, well, a whole bunch of underground in the system. Can I put you there? Can I put you there? Can I put you there? All right. Next thing I need is tungsten carbide. So we're going to throw a box down here. You need 160 per second, which is going to be awkward. And we're probably going to need a couple of machines to get that done. So can I start with you? Can I have you make tungsten carbide? Sorry, tungsten plate. And that's all prob mods. And you're going to make 1 per second. Okay, that's definitely a problem. Can I copy you? Can I put you? I know you're in range of the other building, but that's fine. I'm going to move all this in a second. There, and there. Cool. Can I copy that? Rotate once, rotate twice, rotate 3 times, and power. Can you just be legendary? All right. So you're going to do 63 per second for 100 tungsten ore in, and I need to have 160, which means I'm going to need 3 of these guys to have enough material. So can I cut this? Can I put this 1, 2, 3? Can I bring in material? No, let's bring in the molten plate at the molten pipe at the top. Can I go from here to here and there to there? Can I copy that? Paste that there. Paste that there. And I guess we can go to here and to here. And the substation's always in the way by tile. You to go there, you go there, you go there. Okay. Now, power, we can put a decent sized power pole here and here. And then I need to have my input. So can I get, you need 100 per second. So can we go with legendary inserters? Let's go with 3 of them, which I think is far too much, but I prefer to have too many rather than not enough. And can I have a splitter over here? And we're just going to bring, I've already brought a second belt of tungsten ore down, and we're just going to be stealing a good portion of it to, you know, put into these machines to send over there to do the things we need to. But I want to put in stack inserters. So can I go with, we've got 63 coming out. So can I go with 4 stack inserters either side? That seems like a decent amount. Can I get this to go up and this to go up? And then sort of merge together, that way we're loading both sides of the belt perfectly. And then go into there. Yeah. And then can I take this and paste it there, and then paste it there, and then remove the miles of extra substations. You can actually go, I autosave. You can go straight up and plug into here, and you can plug into here, and then we need a bit of a belt squiggle to get to all 3 inserters, but I think it'll be worth it. And then I want to link to this box. Can I copy those settings? Except you're going to be tungsten plate equals 0. So if I don't have any that are sort of in the system right now, well, then I can add more to the system to make sure we can keep crafting. Otherwise, I want to make sure these boxes stay reasonably empty, if not completely empty, and we should be good to go. Now, you are going to process 8 per second. You are going to process 8 per second. You only make 12, and it looks like 1 inserter might not be enough. Probably not. Oh yeah, it's 100 each, so this has used 200. I need to possibly get more tungsten ore in. Can I put you here? Yes. Can I go from here to here to here to substation upper tile? To here. You're on the wrong tile, sir. To here. And then you can go there, and you can go there, and we delete this really quickly. And have you go in here, and you go in here. And I want to output right, and output right, and probably want to output right here. Yeah. And can I do input from the left? Yeah, input from left, input from left. This is redundant. Yeah, perfect. All right. What I do? Oh, there's an underground there. That's what I did. Just took a second to see the underground. Okay. So that should give me a full belt, yes, and we're not inputting stuff fast. Okay. If we're not inputting stuff fast enough, can I change my ziggy-zaggy to this? Yeah, horizontal flip. That's what I want. There. Can I wire you in the same? And can we go down, around, and back up? Okay, now you have 2 inserters that can try their hardest. Can I remove that wire and add that wire there? Okay. We're now good. We're now good. We are now producing plenty. All right. So you are going to do 8 per second. You can also do 8 per second. And you only make 12 per second. But I do happen to have over here this guy who also makes 6 per second. That is providing he's running full speed. He's not always running full speed. And I don't have the best prop mods in here, so can we just carpet the area with productivity? So I wouldn't mind taking some spares out of here. I have 2.4k in each box, which means I have about 4,800. So if I put you here and then a buffer chest, and I said, hey, you know what? I'd really like to have some undergrounds, and this is intentionally a very slow inserter. And I say, you know what? Can you process undergrounds if they are greater than, say, 4,000-ish? Then we can throw some extras in here. Now, the idea is that hopefully this runs full speed, and then this just processes the excess. And I'm going to sort of improve my odds by upgrading those to legendary, and then also upgrading this guy to legendary. So in theory, we should be able to output full speed in both of these machines. It's just taking a little bit of slack, a little bit of extra. That's all he's doing. In fact, actually, do I happen to have a... Okay, can I go to this view? Can I grab one of these? The ultimate slow-mo. I think I have the ultimate slow-mo. And that should be able to build, apart from I need to deal with this. So, as I said, I have 3 items coming out. I have legendary tungsten, plus I also have blue and green underground. So let's start with actually let's start with the tungsten. Tungsten's probably the easiest one to deal with. So legendary tungsten. Okay, I want legendary tungsten to go flip on the bottom, and we're going to go with the very high-tech method of boxes. Just all of it goes into boxes. Can I run that to there? And can I put you here? Step number 1. We're just going to put all the tungsten without the substation into a box or 10. I run that off because I want to grab these items. Cool. And you're going to go, say here. All right. So that means on the other belts, I now have, actually, can I have a steel chest? And you can be here. And you. And can I dump, where are they? That back in, that back in, and that back in. All right. So I have tungsten plate coming down here. On this one, I have green undergrounds plus blue undergrounds. Okay, both of them in legendary. I need to sort those out. I need to deal with them in some way, shape, or form. So, of course, that one power pole that I removed happened to run these guys. Okay. Can I have a recycler? Except I don't need quality in this because things are already legendary. I don't need to recycle more legendary with legendaries, but I can do it with speed. So in here, I would like to put in, I would like you to put in basically everything. Yeah, everything. Okay. And then you're going to output two possible combinations. 2, 3, 4, 2. You're going to output either, well, legendary blues. So if you process a legendary green, you're going to give me a legendary blue. Also, you're going to give me tungsten plate. So I need that to come back to here. On top of that, if you process a legendary blue, you're going to give me a legendary red. And then a legendary red. Oh, and a bunch of gears. A bunch of gears as well. If we do a... No, you max on output. Okay, that's fine. Thought it was short on the gears. Like, don't worry. All right. If I process a legendary blue, I get, well, a legendary red and a bunch of gears. And then if I do a legendary red, I get a legendary yellow belt with a bunch of gears. And then when I do the yellow belt, I get a bunch of gears and also some belts. And then when I do the belt, I get plate and belt, and then I get plate and gears. So I have plate, belt, gears. Yeah, lots of different sub combos. So what I want to do is I want to have a box. Let's go with a box. And then out of that box, there are 2 possible end solutions that I care about. One is going to be gears, legendary. And the other one is going to be plate, legendary. And then there's everything else, which is, well, actually, it's going to be plate, legendary, and gears, legendary, and neither of those 2. It's going to be something else, but not those 2. All right. These items, I want to, and I need to process and put them back into here. So I'm going to side load them in there. And can I also very quickly grab the storage chest? I'm going to put you here and here. We're going to filter you to be plate, legendary, and filter you to be is legendary. Okay. Can I flip the belt up so I can clear this stuff off, and then I want to cut that in place. Let's go with here. All right, and feed that back in there. And can I go back to this? I put what I find. I had belts and belts. Okay, so I need this to come back to here, and we're just gonna empty this back on the belt. It's gonna process back down here if that's where it goes, and if it doesn't go there, well, it's the belt, it's the gears, and it's the plate. So they're gonna end up in those two chests, and everything else should just end up getting disposed of, and I never have to deal with them. But there's another catch. The catch is that I put these in storage chests intentionally because robots prefer to take them from storage rather than anywhere else. And eventually there's a chance that I'm not going to be using gears or legendary plate, and these could back up. So I need another recycler. The other recycler is going to have a inserter here and inserter here. Oh, you're going to be wiring into that chest, and you're going to be saying if gears legendary is greater than a stack size of 100 with 100 slots in the storage chest. The storage chest has 120. Well, then you get to crush them. And oh no, I don't want to do that. Delete and copy, paste. Yep. Wire into there, and you're going to be doing plate instead, which has the same stack size, therefore the same quantities. Can I pick you up and put you this way? And then all I need to do is attach that there. And then I need to take this stuff that I don't need and also send it back down there, which means it's going to get crushed again after it's been crushed once, and I'm going to end up back in these storage chests, and there's still too much. And then it goes for another trip around the merry-go-round. But with all my trips around the merry-go-round done, in theory, that is our finalized build. Now, how much legendary we have? We have 400, another 100, another 35, another 14, so we've made 600, about 600 last, well, how long has this episode gone? 27 minutes, and most of it was talked about the setup. Yeah, so this is fairly quick to make, fairly efficient to make. Obviously, maybe I need to, it's having a problem with the output. This guy can't output all the time. He's jamming and a little bit slow sometimes. We can move this higher up. And then do this and this, and that way there's a little bit more room on the belt to buffer things, but there's not a lot else I can do. Not without a second inserter here, which I guess we could do. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Can I bring you down to here? Cool, then you're going to input twice as fast. Taking off the belt is much slower than going box to box, so I'm not worried about the second inserter, it's just the first pair. And actually, frankly, I could... No, I'm gonna leave it as is. Alright, so it's not all build, it's running fine. It's another thing off our legendary tick list that we can definitely say is now done. My molten iron, I'm making, actually, if I just check that, I'm still plus 200, so that's not really an issue. These are overproducing by an awful lot. I don't see them being an issue either. I could bring, and maybe it's not a bad idea to just say, hey, bring 50 of these up here. If for whatever reason I don't have this system running, if something breaks here for whatever reason, then I could bring them from this system down here where I do, oh, they're in a buffer chest. Well, they're in a buffer chest. I couldn't bring them from here anyway. But if they happen to be, this is 900 in there, and this says there is 1200. Okay, so there's a certain amount in storage somewhere. In that case, can I set this to 4K? And therefore, on their way 0. Oh, it's 900 plus this 300. Okay, well, there you go. But if I throw that one out, I'll end up with this chest. All right, so this should work. This should be a system. This is available, as always, as a Patreon blueprint. I like putting my blueprints on Patreon. Where I get to, give back to those that choose to support the channel. If you're interested in grabbing the blueprint, otherwise you could have just followed along as you watch the video. But this should be our legendary tungsten completed, which means in our next episode, now we have automatic research choosing, Yep, research, automatic research queue. That's probably more accurate. It means in the next episode, I want to work on a new project, and actually the new project is on Aquilo, and it is, these things. We are making about, not quite 60 per second, and, they're fairly important. They go into very, very important items like railguns. I would like to make an awful lot of railguns. I'd also like to make an awful lot of fusion generators, and that means I need to do a small little upgrade over here on how many of these we make. We do have an awful lot of them available in rockets, but they only launch 200 at a time, which is possibly an issue. But yeah, that's something we're going to work on in the next episode. For all that said and done, I'm going to leave this episode here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video. Bye.